How is the war within? This is a question I've been getting asked a lot on stream, and I've been watching some other streams, and a lot of people are asking in that stream as well. So I want to go ahead and answer this question. First and foremost, the war within is beautifully designed. It has 4 immersive zones that you can fly around. You get flying very early on, so you're not ground locked, and you can fly around and just view the beautiful landscape of this world. Only one of the zones is above ground and 3 of the zones are underground. But if you didn't know that, you wouldn't actually know because they don't feel dark and dreary. It's lit by this artificial light with a crystal that's sticking to the ground, but it feels more like the sky. It shifts from the void to the light to simulate day and night. And it's a fantastic artificial underground world that feels more like it's above ground. Never ceases to amaze me how good WoW's scoring is. The zones, ambience and music feel perfect and they fit the storyline. And speaking of the story, this is one of the best storylines that we've had in such a long time. They have really revived these characters back from the dead, from Shadowlands, and people are coming into this with a fresh perspective. And I think that the game overall is in a very healthy state. That being said, the story is phenomenal. The character development is all there. Our 3 main characters, Alleria, Farron, and Anduin, are all struggling with their own individual issues. Alleria, her hatred towards Xal'atath is slowly shifting her towards the void, while Anduin is trying to come back from losing his connection with the light. And Farron, who is strong with the light, is leading Anduin back to it, and she's the only one that's saying anything worthwhile listening to. She's the one that, where everyone else is like crying or filled with hatred, she's the one making sense and inspiring others and bringing us forward towards our ultimate mission and saying some really important life lessons that we can connect with.
No, we cannot keep retreating from the darkness. Our fear has overshadowed our faith.
All in all, I think the story is a massive win, and it's surely to hook you if you're playing through the War Within campaign. The class design is at its best that it's ever been. The button bloat has been stripped down, so everything feels a bit simpler for new players, which I absolutely love. The hero talents are all passive, so there's nothing you really have to do differently to play your class. You just get more damage for doing the same thing, and I think this is a massive W. I really enjoyed the new changes to Arcane Mage, and I love playing it at level 80. However, it was terrible trying to level as an Arcane Mage. So if you're out there and you're playing a class and you're just not able to kill like low-level mobs very efficiently and work your way through the zone, maybe save that class for level 80 and try a different spec while you're leveling that can handle lower-level mobs, like a lot of lower-level mobs over and over and over. Because Arcane is just mainly set up for like being a turret and doing lots of damage to a boss, or really good in Mythic Plus, but I wouldn't level as Arcane. I chose the level as Fire, and it was a much better experience for me, and I really enjoyed it once I made the swap. Movement is amazing in retail. The zones are beautiful. The music is phenomenal. The delves are WoW's newest feature, and I can honestly say the delves are extremely fun. They're challenging. At the lower levels, they're pretty easy, but as they start to scale, they get harder and harder. And I think that people will be in for a challenge. And it's a nice option to have a one-player style dungeon for someone who wants to just get in and doesn't want to spend time looking for a group to do Mythic Plus. The delves is a fantastic new option, a smaller version of a dungeon. And I think that players are going to have a really good time playing through these delves. One of the best parts about the War Within is the new dungeons. They've actually made all of them much quicker. So this is going to transition into Mythic Plus when that releases on the 17th very, very nicely. We're going to be able to do dungeons a lot quicker because the dungeons are 3 bosses. They may be taking anywhere from 15 to 25 minutes. And in the past, 30 minutes had been our shortest dungeon. And I see most of these dungeons being even shorter than that, which if you fail a Mythic Plus key, it's nice that you can just go again very quickly. You're not wasting so much of your time spending 40 minutes in a dungeon just to fail it by like 10 seconds. It's going to feel a lot less worse when you fail these dungeons because they're being more respectful of your time. Speaking of being respectful of your time, warbands are now in the game, and World of Warcraft is just doing a phenomenal job at respecting the player's time. I looted a couple of pieces of warband gear yesterday, and this gear is actually better than the gear that I can even currently equip. but I can't wear it because it's male and I'm playing a cloth wearer. So I have to put the gear into my bank. And if I ever make a male wearer, I will be now able to wear that piece of gear that I looted. So leveling alts is going to be better than ever in the War Within. And everything is account wide. Even the gear and stuff that you get, you could send it to your alts. It's just phenomenal. The direction that WoW has gone in regards to quality of life and respecting the player's time. And it really makes me feel like Blizzard is listening to what we're saying. In that regard, yes, and yes, WoW is worth playing. I love the War Within. It's going very well. At the end of the day, though, it is still retail WoW. If you do not enjoy retail WoW, then this might not be the game for you. So just keep that in mind and don't come into the War Within expecting it to be something that is not. That is where you will be disappointed. So that being said, if the worst thing that I could say about the War Within is that maybe the campaign felt a little bit long, because it took me about 8 hours straight of just kind of speed running through the campaign to finish it. That's the worst thing I could probably say about the War Within, other than like maybe Arcane Mage wasn't good for leveling. There's some specs that just won't be good for leveling, but that's just part of the game. That's part of WoW class design and fantasy, is that some classes are better at things than others. So I wouldn't even say that that's a negative. I think that could be looked at as a plus. And some people might think that the campaign being long is a plus, whereas that's just a personal thing for me, as like I prefer to, just be max level. But the leveling was very linear and easy to do. The zones were beautiful. The music was immersive. I was hooked on the story of the characters. And I felt like sometimes I was just flying around the world, like looking at it, because it was just so beautiful. So the War Within, massive success. I love it. You should play it. Maybe if you didn't buy the early release on the day one, probably don't buy it. Just wait until Monday when it comes out for the cheaper package. But other than that, yes, you should play War Within. Yes, you should give it a shot. And if you enjoyed this video, please hit subscribe, and I'll see you next time.